Now, let's see what it looks like when it turns into what I like to call a control center. So if we go over here to menu, you're going to see one of 6 menus. This is 1, basic settings, 2, virtual technician, 3, key settings, 4, phones settings, 5, MIDI settings, and 6, Bluetooth settings. And then it repeats back to 1. So let's go through what these 6 basic categories are for settings. The basic settings, and to get to that, I just press the value key. And now I can see the first thing here is flat. And this is basically where you set your tone or EQ or something like that. So and this is the default, and it sounds so good just the way it is. But you can go ahead and change that. This is a little more brilliant. Here's a bass boost. And here's a bass cut. All right. Here's a mid-range boost, so that would be around here. And then loudness, and basically a loud boost. Brightness, make it a little brighter. Mellow. User EQ, or you can set up your own, and then right back to flat. So that's the first category. The next one, let's exit from here, and we'll go to the virtual technician. This is where you can fine tune your piano just the way you want it. And I'm not going to go through everything, but I'm just going to show you what's available. So we're going to go into here. And the first thing is the touch curve. Now, they only have light, normal, heavy, and off. I'm using the normal one here right now. This is... If I go into light, then with the same amount of pressure, it's like I'm playing it even harder. Off, when I'm going to deal with that. Heavy. This is a heavier action, so you might have to play harder than you're used to. Otherwise, this is the same kind of pressure I was pressing with up until this point, and I'm not changing it. So this is what it sounds like now. I have to really hit it to make it sound. So I like it at normal. Okay, so for somebody who, maybe has a problem with their wrists or arthritis or something else, or doesn't have the strength in their fingers, pick light. And for somebody that's used to really banging on the keys, pick heavy. Otherwise, pick normal. All right, so the touch curve was the first thing in that second menu in that virtual technician. The next thing is the voicing, and you can change this from normal to mellow 1, mellow 2, dynamic, bright 1, bright 2, user, and then back to normal. The next one was the damper resonance. So Here you can adjust it. I believe it's from 1 to 10. Yeah. Okay. So the resonance from the damper, I have it right in the middle. Next one is the damper noise. You can even change that noise level when the dampers are lifting. Then the string resonance. That's an interesting one. Let me just hold down these notes. I've got a C chord. I'm not playing, I'm just holding it down. So on a physical piano, that means the dampers right now are lifted on C, E, G, and C. So when I play a cousin or harmonic, you hear that? It's vibrating these strings that are where the dampers are being held up. So you, as opposed to nothing, dry. So that creates the richness in the sound that you hear on a physical piano. And with this, you can adjust that string resonance where you have more or less or whatever you desire. Again, scale of 1 to 10. Next one is the key off effect. And then we have fallback noise. Oops. Hammer delay. And this actually is, you may not think it has quite the impact it does, but it does. If you're a pianist, you're really going to appreciate this because you can have that hammer delay set on or off anywhere from 1 to 10. And I found that to be a very interesting parameter. So if you're a pianist, you're going to know what I'm talking about. Top board, well, the open 3, I think, is the highest, 2 and 1, and closed. So when you're at a grand piano, you have that top board closed, and you can open it 1, 2, or 3, fully open. That's what this is about. So let me show you fully open. All that sound is coming out and it's filling up the room, as opposed to closed. So some of that sound is trapped in there and not coming out. You can open it slightly, a little more, or all the way. They also have different values for closed 1 and closed 2. So here's closed 2. Closed 1. And I'm not quite sure why the 2 different closed settings. If I had to guess, when you have it closed, there's usually another piece that's part of it, but it's on hinges where it can be fully closed or it can be opened and resting on the rest of the main lid. So I think that's what it is. Don't hold me to it, but that's my guess. All right. I like it open, fully open. Next one, Decay Time. I think that's kind of self-explanatory. Minimum touch. So it's kind of more of a fine-tuning here for your key velocity or key touch setting. And then there's temperament. You can have it equal or pure major, pure minor, Pythagorean, mean tone, Workmeister, and a few other things here. So just keep it at equal. Next one is stretch tuning. You can have that for the piano only, or you can have it normal. User key volume is next. Half pedal adjust. And basically, where's the halfway point on that damper pedal? You can adjust that. Soft pedal depression. And we're back to touch curve. So let's go to the next category, which is key settings. And to get into that, we'll press value again. Lower octave, lower pedal off, split balance. Basically, the balance from, you have two things here that are split. Let's say a piano and a bass. And this is controlling the volumes of each one, whether it's the piano or the bass. Layer octave, layer dynamic, dual balance. Again, the same kind of thing with the balance between each one. And back to the beginning. Exit that. And phones settings. So basically, when you're using headphones, you can have it set up for SHS mode to normal or wide or off. And we'll forward, and we'll just keep it at normal. Okay, phones type, normal, open, semi-open, closed. So basically, what kind of headphone are you wearing? Is it closed? Is it semi-open? And so on and so forth. So I guess it makes some compensations depending on what type of headphone you're wearing. And that's it. It's just those two things in this menu. So let's exit that and go to the MIDI settings menu. And here you just pick what channel you want. There's 16 MIDI channels. You can transmit or receive on whichever one you choose. And your choices are 1 to 16. And then there's the send program number, where you can, if you're controlling another keyboard or a sound module, this is where you send the program number. You can send that here, and you'll put your value in, and that'll go ahead and tell that sound module to change to that program number. Local control on or off, basically what is controlling the sound module that's built in here. So if it's the keys, you're going to leave this on. If it's something else, or you're going to control a sound module that's on your computer, and you're going to use this as a controller, you don't want the sounds coming out of this. When you play that, you want the sounds coming out of whatever sound module you're controlling. So you're going to turn this off in that event. That way, you're disconnecting the keys from the internal sounds here, and then you're playing just whatever you meant to play on your computer or other sound module source. Otherwise, if you had it on, you'd be playing this and whatever you're choosing on your computer or sound module source. So that's why you'd want to choose local on off. All right. Then there's another one here for program number. Multi-timbre, you can have that on and off. Now this function is a receive function that allows the ES520 to receive on all 16 MIDI channels simultaneously. And you can also turn individual MIDI channels on and off when you're in this mode. And then back to MIDI channel. Go to the next one, Bluetooth. And basically, you can have your smartphone or whatever broadcasting your stream that you want to play onto here, so it comes through the speakers. Well, for that, you'll want to have audio, Bluetooth audio, on instead of off. And the next one is the audio volume. You can control the volume of that broadcast to your speakers here, and you've got that 1 through 10. And again, the Bluetooth also supports MIDI over Bluetooth. And this is where you can either enable or disable that by turning it on or off. And we get right back to the beginning again. So let's exit this. And we are back to where we were. That pretty much concludes this. This is one really powerful piano. and a sheer pleasure to play. So, hope you enjoyed this, Piano Man Chuck. Peace out. Thanks for watching.